Arena in Iowa City for today's game between Purdue and Iowa. And the starting lineups today for the visiting Boilermakers: Matt Waddell, Ian Stanback, and Craig Riley on the front line, with Travis Trice and Woody Austin in the backcourt. On the front line for Dr. Tom Davis's Hawkeyes: James Moses, Chris Street, Acie Earl, with a backcourt of Troy Skinner and Val Barnes. The officials today: Randy Drury, Dan Christmas, Art McDonald. Back with the game after this.
With the introduction of the 1992 LeSabre, Buick's reputation continues to grow, and it pleases us that...
For John Mengeld, I'm John Rooney in Iowa City for today's game between Purdue and Iowa. With the lineups just being introduced, we'll be playing in just a moment. Purdue leads this series, with the Boilermakers winning the last two meetings, including a 77-69 overtime game earlier this season at West Lafayette. Gene Keady, the head coach of the Boilers in his 12th year, winning 244 games. And on the other bench, the Iowa Hawkeyes are coached by Dr. Tom Davis in his 6th year with Iowa, his 21st year overall. So that is a great matchup with the coaches today. Two very experienced coaches, two coaches who love to play in the month of March when it gets beyond Big Ten action.
That's right, and Dr. Tom Davis making a change early this morning. Kevin Smith, who has started the last few games. He missed 7 games earlier in the year because the university, not the NCAA, didn't think he was up to his academics, was late for the morning shootout, not starting.
So instead, it's Troy Skinner, who got 3 points at Michigan and is averaging 4.4 points a game. He'll be starting the game with Val Barnes in the backcourt. In fact, Kevin Smith and Val Barnes celebrated birthdays yesterday. Val Barnes on Valentine's Day turned 21. Kevin turned 20 years old.
A lot of people here think the way Kevin Smith plays is the way Iowa plays. Be interesting to see if they change a little bit in their philosophy. Obviously, Skinner not quite as quick as Smith, and therefore the pressure maybe not as effective, nor the break.
Purdue in the road black uniforms, Iowa in the home white. Acie Earl to tip it up. Riley has the basketball as Acie Earl won the tip with Ian Stanback. In fact, he tipped it right to the Purdue Boilermakers, who come out on offense with Austin trying a long-range jumper that won't go. Val Barnes with the rebound. Iowa on offense now.
A little bit of an uncharacteristic quick shot by Purdue, but a nice screen and a good shot by Austin. He was open, just didn't hit it. Purdue in a 2-3 zone. Of course, Iowa gets a lot of its points off fast breaks and free throws. Has a tough time scoring points. A lot of people say maybe 25 to 30 points off the half-court offense in the game. Be interesting to see what this zone does to Iowa.
And the zone can really slow a team down, John. Street won't take the shot. Moses will. And off the bounce, here comes Purdue. Woody Austin scoring 17.7 points a game. Ian Stanback from a double team. Street and Earl were there to get him. Acie Earl fourth in the NCAA in block shots. Here's Street trying to reverse. It won't go for him. Here comes Woody Austin and Purdue trying to break the scoreless tie. Waddell misses. Still can't get the ball down. Here comes Skinner. Who's going to score first here? Iowa with another opportunity. This is Val Barnes. And that won't go for him. Street ties it up. Street and Riley going after it.
Purdue playing a little quick. Gene Keady not real happy. Purdue taking 4 quick shots off their offense. Gene likes to see him run some time as Iowa turns the ball over. Iowa really known for making its opponent turn it over. Their opponents have turned the ball over almost 20 times a ball game.
That was a pass designed to get Earl a real quick basket off the inbounds play. Didn't work.
Again, just a little pressure on the inbounds pass, not pressure down the floor. Purdue playing really a 3-guard offense. Maybe to offset some of that pressure. Matt Waddell, a 6'4" guard out of Tipton, Indiana, really playing forward today.
Woody Austin working over Skinner.
Tough
That's
shot.
short. Here comes Val Barnes.
That's a bad shot there.
Iowa running. Skinner shoots for a 3. 3-0 Iowa.
Skinner gets those feet aligned, his shoulders aligned. You can't let him shoot open jumpers. Skinner breaks the ice.
A 31% three-point shooter, Troy Skinner from Palmer, Iowa, makes it 3-0 Iowa. 17:49 and counting in the first half. Stand back out at the point. Trice had 21 points against Ohio State last Saturday on our Big Ten game of the week.
He's had 3 really good games in a row since getting back into the starting lineup. He started first 11 games.
He missed that shot after scoring 1 3-pointer last week. Val Barnes. And that's Street for the putback.
Iowa, by opening up the ball game, they're not a big physical team. In fact, their big men are just a little soft, but they use their quickness. They open up the floor, open up the ball game. Those long jumpers come off long, and they get offensive rebounds. That's Iowa's type of ball game right there.
Iowa 5-0. Purdue looking for its first points on this trip. Street comes out to get Stanback. Here's Riley with a strong move in the basket. He'll go to the free throw line. It's 5-2 Iowa and could be 5-3.
Purdue with the triangle on the right side of the floor. The ball is swung out high to Waddell. He's got the good angle. And Riley on a very nice spin left baby hook there, and he draws the foul.
Here's Greg Riley, a senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Against Illinois, 20 minutes. 11 points, 4 rebounds. He tries for the three-point play.
Tom Davis puts Smith in the ball game, made his point. That's all he wanted to do.
Smith is averaging close to 6 assists a ball game. Now he'll run the offense. 2-3 zone.
He would be second in the league for average if he'd played enough ball games. Missing 7 games in the middle of the year.
.20 seconds on the shot clock. Smith inside the three-point line, back out to Barnes. 5-3 Iowa. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Moses tries to dump it low. And it's cleared out by Link Darner. Waddell goes to Darner, and he walked with the ball.
A little anxious there. Had the angle to the basket, just tried to get there too quickly. It's okay if it works.
It is, and he was wide open on the offside of the floor.
You can't get away with anything with 3 officials, can you?
No, you can't, and especially when you take 2 quick steps like that. Iowa working with a 2-point lead now. And Purdue stays with the zone here.
The tempo right now in Purdue's favor. This is the kind of game Purdue wants to see.
Riley fouls Acie Earl as Acie stepped toward the lane.
Smart foul by Riley. Earl looked like he was going for the jam, and maybe realizing Earl's a 64% free throw shooter, said, hey, I'm going to put you on the line, make you earn these 2.
Acie Earl with 80 block shots, 4th in the NCAA, and he has scored 1,046 career points. Moses out of the lineup, and Wade Lookingbill will see his first action today. He's a junior from Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Very solid fundamental player. Will hit the open jump shot. Right now, though, not as quick a team as Iowa likes to see in the ball game.
Trice out, Austin back in. Got quiet here, didn't it? And I don't see too many empty seats here at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
This place very acoustically efficient. You can hear a pin drop in this place.
Earl's second shot with 15:55 to go in the first half. And he got the bounce on that one, didn't he? We have a timeout. Iowa with 15:55 to go in the first half is leading Purdue 6-3.
How to live like a mountain man. A true mountain man lives a solitary life, living for nothing more than an honest day's work and the rugged companionship of his fellow mountain men. It's a full-time job, but it does have its rewards, like smooth bush beer and easy drinking Busch Light. So, head for the mountains. Because once a mountain man has his mountains, what more could he possibly want?
Lock-in performance. Lock-in low cost. Lock-in safer handling. Lock-in rootworm control with Thymet insecticide. Thimet provides protection equal to diphonated Lorsban, and it costs a lot less. And now, get Thimet in the new fast-loading lock and load closed handling system. So look again at Thimet and lock in more profits.
It might not make a big difference to you that your Farm Bureau agent is one of the industry's best trained. Then again, maybe it will. You might not be impressed that your Farm Bureau agent is always looking for innovative insurance and financial solutions. But someday, you might be. And you might not think it's important to plan for your future with a preferred client review. But maybe you should. The Farm Bureau family. Our most important policy is caring.
In the early going of this game, Iowa leads 6-3, and so far 13 shots have been taken by both teams. Only 3 have dropped in. 1 for Purdue, 2 for Iowa, and Iowa has out-rebounded Purdue 6-3 so far.
Those percentages look more like the high and low temperatures outside in here in icy Iowa City, and it's icy inside. I would say this is Purdue's philosophy winning so far. A very methodical half-court kind of game, as Iowa's going to try to change that with the pressure here.
That's Iowa's game. Full court pressure, but broken by the Boilermakers. Link Darner, number 30 with the ball.
Iowa so far choosing not to continue it all the way down the floor. They pressure the inbounds pass, then back out into the man-to-man with some overplay.
Darner pulls up with the dribble, finds Riley. Waddell bounces inside, and Ian Stanback used the off arm to clear out, and he commits the foul, his first.
Iowa very aggressive on defense, will cause that once in a while. They'll overplay, try to get in your lane, and Stanback with the left arm pushes off.
2 team fouls on Purdue, 1 on Iowa. Troy Skinner. He's out front, looking Bill for Street.
Purdue in a man-to-man now. Gene Keady switching defenses.
James Winters also in the lineup for Iowa. Winters down low from a double team. Couldn't get the basket down. Stanback rebounds for Purdue. Purdue with a chance to pull within 1 or tie the game with 3 points on this trip. Barnes is with Waddell, man-to-man for Iowa. Here's Stanback. Riley with the rebound. Over Street. No, it's going to be blocked from behind by Winters. But Purdue keeps the ball in its court, and Waddell will set it up. And the fans applaud that defensive stand by Iowa.
Clock obviously reset on the shot, not on the block.
Riley, and that's goaltending on Winters. 5 for Craig Riley.
Well, this is a Purdue's ball game. They like to work the offense. They're very patient. They'll wait for the right angles, and Riley on a nice cut from the weak side lays it up on the glass, and that's obviously goaltending. And
now Troy Skinner. He's 8th in career assists at Iowa. Coming into this game with 290. Stanback got a hand on the ball, but there's Winters stripped of the ball by Austin. Back the other way, Woody Austin and Purdue.
No break, so Purdue will set it up. They'll run a lot of screens trying to get Austin the jumper, or the ball to Riley or Stanback down low.
Stanback keeping that alive to Waddell. Now Waddell will indicate the set play. On the shot clock, 19 seconds. A whistle away from the ball.
Stanback again.
Stanback, his second.
So Stanback becoming frustrated by Winters' very aggressive defense. Will have to go sit down on 2 offensive fouls.
Cornelius McNary, a sophomore from Matson, Illinois, Rich South High School, comes in to take his place. So Stanback leaves with 2 fouls. Darner is with Skinner. We're doing a man-to-man now. This is Acie Earl over McNary. Earl gets the rebound, bumping into McNary, tries a second shot and is fouled. With this particular offense with Iowa, does Earl try to do too much at times, you think, John?
Well, he needs to stay down low where he can get the ball a little bit closer to the basket to make his moves. He comes out high, he's got to do too much. Good offensive post players do most of the work before they get the basketball.
Earl is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Iowa leads by 1. Now 2.
Mentioned before, Earl is 64% free throw shooter. Iowa just a tad over 70% for the year as a team.
The loss at Purdue, Earl scored 21 points. We have a lane violation. A lane violation giving Acie Earl another opportunity at the free throw line. I think Conzo Martin was in the lane too soon.
That violation, probably not because he might get the rebound, because it bothers the shooter as they're going up if they're in there too early. Have a tendency to lose concentration with guys jumping in and out of the lane.
Earl has 3 now, and the lead is 3 for Iowa at 8-5. Odell Davis is in the lineup now for Iowa.
This time Iowa continues the pressure at half court. They have not done that as yet.
Link Darner at the three-point line, cut off by Skinner. Street is watching Martin. Moses with Austin. Darner backs away. McNary from the low post.
These Iowa fans, they really get into it.
Here's Darner. Short on his 3 tries. Street can't find a handle on it and then does. Iowa trying to build on a 3-point lead now. Won't go for Davis, and it's out of bounds. Iowa's ball off Conzo Martin.
Both coaches doing a lot of substituting, trying to find that 5 guys who can put some points on the board. Talking about an awful low-scoring ball game here so far. Both teams continue to be very icy.
Travis Trice back in. McNary goes out. On the lob, inbounds, off the glass, and it counts. Rodell Davis with the basket as first of the game.
I think that play's designed for a dunk, not shooting from your knees like he did. It'll look the same in the scorebook.
Nothing there for Waddell, with Davis cutting him off.
I think Waddell's got to take that shot. That's a 15-foot open jump shot. He's known for being a good shooter. He's got to go up with that confidently.
An air ball on the hook, and it's saved. Iowa with a 5-point lead now, under 12 minutes to go in the first half. Earl inside from a double team. Can't get the shot in. And a foul going over the back. It's on James Moses. That's Moses first. We have a timeout on the court with 11:49 to go in the first half. Iowa's leading Purdue by a 10-5 score. We'll return in just a moment.
You take me back to that feeling. For sure starting power every time, no matter what the weather, use CarQuest batteries in your car or truck. Quality CarQuest batteries perform each and every time and can only be found at CarQuest Auto Parts stores. Stop by your local CarQuest Auto Parts store today and pick up a CarQuest battery. It won't let you down. And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
A lot of cars are taking aim at the imports these days. Well, one American car is very much on target. Buick. Here's their latest hit, the all-new 1992 Skylark. Completely redesigned with more power and advanced features like standard anti-lock brakes. Skylark for 1992. It's got everything you've been looking for, plus the one thing only Buick can offer you, Buick quality.
In making an artistic statement, one's personal aroma shouldn't do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sports Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Travel arranged through Northwest Airlines, committed to providing the best on-time performance across the country and around the world. Northwest, the on-time airline. But John Minkield, I'm John Rooney. We're in Iowa City, and neither team has been able to get into a groove, and this is the reason.
Temperatures aren't on the rise, are they?
No, they're not. In fact, they've gone down a little bit.
Purdue 1 out of their last 5, and Iowa 3 out of their last 6, and not very good shooting for either one of these clubs. And really, this is kind of Purdue's ball game. Iowa not causing too many turnovers and getting opportunity baskets. They are getting some follow shots. They do lead in the rebounding category 11-6, and they're getting most of their points off of rebound shots and free throws.
Purdue with the basketball after the timeout. Full court pressure for Iowa on the Boilermakers with Iowa ahead by 5.
Diamond and 1 zone press. Purdue handling it very easily up until that point.
Val Barnes with the ball for Iowa.
That was just a sleep mistake there. Riley was just asleep.
And a foul on Acie Earl, or is it on Riley?
It's on Riley for a little bit too physical there with the arm. And what you want to do when you're playing defense down low on a big guy is what Riley was trying to do, push him out a little bit further before he receives the ball. Obviously, the offensive man wants to get down there as far as he can.
Now Winters from the baseline. He'll take the jump shot.
That was kind of an excuse me play. Almost got the ball back in his lap, sitting out of bounds. Kind of got it and just Purdue forgot to guard him.
Near steal, Purdue with the ball.
Again, Iowa just after the initial pressure drops back into a overplay man-to-man in the half court.
Travis Trice at the three-point line, guarded by Val Barnes. Smith is watching Austin. Here's Trice open.
Nice move by Trice. He was open for the jump shot, didn't take it, caught Barnes running at him. It's easier to go around there, and nice move.
Great pass inside. Earl will go to the free throw line. Smith found Earl open, and Acie, who is 3 out of 4 from the line, will be back at the strike. Martin with the foul.
When we talk about fast breaks, sure, you talk about the 2-on-1, the 3-on-2s that you get in turnover situations, but that's what we like to call a transition break, where you bring the ball down the floor and you get into your offense before the defense is really set up. Once the defense is set up, as you see Earl miss his first free throw, it's a lot easier to help on defense because everybody is balanced. But when you're out there trying to find your own man, looking around, you're not worried about somebody else's man. And that time Smith got the ball into Earl, and Riley did not have any help.
This free throw is in play. 10:51 left in the first half. That time he gets the roll and has 4 points. Back in for Purdue, Cornelius McNary. Riley goes out. Against the full court press, Gonzo Martin to inbound. He just beats a 5-second call finding McNary. Now Iowa will relax and pick up Purdue half court.
They switch up. Sometimes they relax and go back into the man-to-man, and next time they'll pick up at half court. I'm sure they're receiving a sign from the bench on what to do, but so far, except for a sleep play or a bad pass by Riley, the press has been ineffective.
Austin has not scored so far today. Trice has 2 points, 5 for Craig Riley. 13-7 Iowa. Back for Trice. Blocked by Winters. Stanback misses the putback, and in the volley, it's tapped out for Kevin Smith. Davis gets it and a free throw. Rodell Davis has 4, and he'll be on the line.
Lots of things happen when you play good defense. The lob, see, takes it to the glass. You can do that. Once it hits the glass, you can't touch it. Good hustle by Iowa on the boards, and this is what they want right here. They want to open up the game, and that's what Smith does best for this club. Nice 3-on-2 fast break. Davis to the line for a chance to cap the three-pointer.
Travis Trice put him there with the foul. 5 points now for Rodell Davis. He's averaging 6.4 a game. Davis goes out, and James Moses checks back in for Iowa. Craig Riley will come back for Gene Keady.
No, a lot of substitutions in this game. I don't know. I question the philosophy of taking a guy out who's just kind of gotten into the game, you know, on getting a three-pointer and a fast break layup. sometimes if you're a player, it's very hard to get into the game.
Good double team by Barnes and Street. It's tied up. Purdue will have the ball. The possession arrow favors the Boilermakers.
You know, the pressure and the fast breaks kind of feed on themselves. You have a tendency, if you're Iowa, if you get a couple nice fast breaks off the press or off your good defense, you tend to play it a little bit more effectively. And as an offensive team, you tend to be a little bit more passive against the press. And right now, at that time at least, Purdue was very passive against the press. You must attack a press.
Waddell comes back in for Purdue now. Another substitution, John. And he takes the inbounds pass. Riley will wait for Waddell. Purdue is down by 9.
I'm surprised Purdue, as well as they're getting through Iowa's press, doesn't try to get the ball into a man's hands in the half court, a guard or a forward who can handle it instead of the big guy, because then you can attack and make Iowa pay for the press. That time, Riley got the ball and really had a 2-on-1, but couldn't take it to the basket.
And when Purdue's gone inside, the Boilers have had tough time getting the ball off the glass and in. That time, the baseline jumper goes. That's the first basket for Woody Austin, a 2-pointer. And in a running game, a foul call, stopping the clock with 9:24 left in the half.
Well, Woody Austin should not have been the first man back on that play for Purdue. Barnes streaked out on the break. The guy shooting the shot really, has a tendency to lag behind defensively getting back. Austin, being the first guy back, is not the way you want to see your club react defensively.
Matt Painter in for Purdue, with Conzo Martin leaving, and Val Barnes is on the free throw line. He had a 16-point game against Michigan. Iowa lost at Michigan, 79-74. Before that, a loss at Indiana on Sunday. A bonus free throw now for Val Barnes. 18 fouls for Purdue, only 2 for Iowa in the first half. Barnes with 2. He's averaging just under 11 points a game. Iowa to press, leading 18-9.
Street and Matt Painter, Chris Street and Matt Painter, a little bumping and grinding in there.
Barnes with the steal and a blocking foul called against Purdue.
Boy, I'm not.
Painter was called for the foul.
I'm not so sure Painter even saw him coming on that play. Iowa again, the pressure effective, and Barnes gets the steal. Painter in your left part of your screen here. He looked like he was looking down floor. I don't know why he'd still be running at Barnes, but boy, they hit head on, going right at each other, and looks like Barnes got the best of that one on both aspects, both physically, and he gets to go to the line.
He gets another free throw. He's made 3 in a row. Wade Looking Bill will come back in for Iowa in a moment. He'll be replacing Barnes.
Purdue with 9 fouls. That will put Iowa the automatic 2 free throws each time a foul occurs, and there's 9:21 left. That's an awful long time to allow the team to be in the 2 free throw situation.
Only 2 team fouls for Purdue, and Gene Keady's not very happy about that.
Well, you can bet he's chatting about that as the refs walk by.
You bet. Here's stand back. Near steal by Earl. No foul call. Earl slaps the ball away. Out of bounds to Iowa. And Gene Keady's looking for the right combination. He goes back to his bench, and he'll send in Brandon Brantley. A 13-4 run for Iowa over the last 5 minutes and 15 seconds, giving Iowa a 20-9 lead.
And that's about the same amount of time that the tempo of the game has become more upbeat. Iowa getting some opportunity shots off turnovers and good defensive play.
This is Street at the high post. Skinner. James Moses for Skinner at the three-point line. Waddell's with him, man-to-man. From a double team, a travel call. Iowa turnover with Iowa ahead by 11. 7 turnovers for Purdue, 4 for Iowa now. Purdue across
Worst
the line.
place you can stop.
A foul, a reach in on Wade Lookingbill. His first, the third on Purdue. And getting ready for Iowa, you know exactly what the Hawkeyes are going to do, John. Yet teams have trouble bringing the ball up against the press, or if nothing more, takes a lot of time off the 45-second clock. Takes about 8 or 9 seconds to get across the line.
Right now, Purdue a little passive with the press, a little tentative. I think that's caused by Iowa causing some turnovers, but you need to attack the press. Anytime somebody double teams you, that means they're leaving something open. You got to find that guy.
5-second call. Purdue could not get the ball in bounds that time.
I think the lady right here behind the referee had helped him a little bit on that one. She was jumping up and down hollering 5. And
yeah, she was getting high fives from the fans sitting by her there.
Gene Keady right now a little perplexed, doesn't know what to do. He's tried about every combination he can.
Street with a strong move and blocked. Brantley came from behind. Here is Waddell, and he gets the layup. Skinner tried to foul him, or at least get a piece of the ball. Didn't do either one. 2 for Matt Waddell. 9-point Iowa lead. Iowa with the ball now, and 8 minutes to go in the first half. Iowa on offense now. Moses with a jump shot. Street just got away from Brandon Brantley. Brantley with the rebound. Painter in the front court. Fouled by Moses.
Just a little trip.
2 fouls on Moses.
Again, Painter a little hesitant to attack the basket. Looked like he had an opportunity and just decided not to take it, to pull the ball back out.
So with a break in the action and 7:34 left in the first half, Iowa leads by 9 in Big Ten basketball.
When you consider everything the mountains have to offer, it's not surprising why anyone would want to work up here. Come to think of it, it's not surprising why they'd want to hang around after work either.
Crystal knows there's nothing like pure, clear water. That's why Diamond Crystal makes some of the most advanced water softener salts you can buy. Make your water special with Diamond Crystal.
With the introduction of the 1992 LeSabre, Buick's reputation continues to grow. And it pleases us that people are taking notice. Because LeSabre isn't just another fine motor car, it's a Buick. And Buick is rapidly becoming an enormous symbol for quality in America.
Stay tuned for halftime when John Mingeld and I will bring you this week's Norwegian Cruise Line Trivia Contest question. We're talking about Purdue and Iowa and getting ready for postseason play, John. Both of these teams met in the 1979-80 season in the Final Four, with Purdue beating Iowa 75-58 for the third place game. They don't play that one anymore. But these teams have not been strangers to NCAA play. Iowa's trying to put on a run. So is Gene Keady. He'd like to see his team active.
Both clubs
after mid-March.
Both clubs be happy to score that many points today, too.
Here's Smith for Davis. And it spins in. Rodell Davis has 7.
You can see how Smith is a catalyst to that fast break. Very nice bounce pass across the lane. Resulted in a little Scoopy-Doo shot, but a conversion on the fast break, and Iowa now doubles Purdue.
Biggest lead of the day, 22-11. Smith steals for winners, showtime. But he didn't dunk it. He got the basket. James Winters has 4. Purdue takes a timeout. 24-11 Iowa with its biggest lead. Davis has scored 7 off the bench, and we'll be right back.
From this day on, every Domino's pizza will be better than ever.
More melted cheese, big better toppings, and the tastier crust.
More melted cheese, big better toppings,
Tender, tastier crust.
Every fresh-made Domino's pizza better than ever, now and forever.
Nobody knows like Domino's how you like
more melted cheese,
big better toppings, tender, tastier crust.
Try a medium with unlimited toppings, now just $9.99.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Who's won 100 grand playing Iowa's $100,000 cash game?
My name is Claire Cadell, and I am from Albee, Iowa. We're going to pay some bills off with it and then invest it. Winning the money. It's a wonderful feeling.
I love Iowa's $100,000 cash game. Wow.
Iowa's $100,000 cash game.
A wonderful feeling.
Here's another case where Iowa's defense creates fast offense.
Well, sometimes the pressure just kind of adds up and builds on itself, and as a player, you don't want to see it anymore. As you see, going in for the layup, it looks like he had a little bit of trouble. Winters with his ankle on the play. Rolled it over. It looked like he wanted to bring the crowd to his feet. That'll happen sometimes. Looked like his last stride was a little further than he really wanted it to be.
He got the job done.
Yeah, I've seen guys blow bunnies like that.
Oh, I have too.
Trying to start showtime.
Winters has 4, Rodell Davis 7.
Purdue now has to not try to get all these points back at once. There's a lot of time left in this ball game. They have to kind of eat away at the scoreboard rather than trying to get it back, as that was blocked by Earl.
And finally tipped in. Riley was underneath.
Well, Earl's coming over, see, to play Austin, and that leaves Riley an angle to the basket. Nobody boxing him out. A lot of times people don't realize what going to the basket creates for you.
Davis lost a handle on it, and Davis commits the foul on Austin. Rodell Davis with his first.
It's only the 5th team foul on Iowa. You know, a lot of people think because you play aggressive defense that you foul a lot. That's not the case here at Iowa. They use their feet to play defense.
On the other end, Riley was given credit for the basket. He has 7 points. Barnes, Street, Davis, Smith, and Earl on the court for Iowa in the full court pressure. Link Darner throws it to midcourt. Acie Earl steals right in front of us. Now Smith attacking. No look pass for Davis, and he can't handle it. And Davis is saying, my fault, because he had a clear track to the basket.
When you want to stay fundamental, especially when you build up a lead, you don't want to give Purdue any hope at all by having turnovers.
And a foul called on Rodell Davis, his second. One more team foul on Iowa, and Purdue will be in the 1-1. One more foul on Purdue. Iowa will shoot 2 the rest of the half. And Purdue hasn't fouled in a while.
Iowa continues the full court zone pressure. Diamond and 1. Inviting you to throw the long pass as Purdue did last time, and Acie Earl intercepted it. You want to get the ball in the middle on that diamond. That's how you break a press down, and then you want to turn and attack it very rapidly.
Iowa's been very tough denying the inbounds pass from the side today, causing 1 5-second call and causing trouble other times. Link Darner from the baseline. And that's cleared out by Brantley. Waddell runs the offense now, the freshman from Tipton, Indiana.
Not much of Travis Trice today.
Saved by Waddell, and he throws it away to Skinner. There's Street for Iowa. Iowa up 24-13 with the ball and 5.5 minutes to go. Street shoots a three.
Iowa starts feeling their oats. They get real loose, and you got 6-8 players taking three-point jumpers on the transition.
Riley on the run. Got the basket. Earl was thinking about a block, but then didn't want to foul him.
Leads the Big Ten, 4th in the country, and Riley takes it right to him. That's what Riley's got to do. The guy who gets the ball out ahead has a 2-on-1 if they break the press. You got to take it to the defense.
Garner's guarding Skinner. Street inside for Earl, throwing it away to Woody Austin. From the double team, Riley lowered the shoulder, no foul called. The ball is batted out of bounds to Purdue.
Nice job that time by Moses. James Moses. Woody Austin really had him one-on-one in an open court and couldn't get to the basket. Moses on some good solid defense.
Looking Bill and Winters back in for Iowa.
Of course, Iowa forcing almost 20 turnovers a game. Purdue a little bit ahead of that pace with 12.
Austin takes the shot after Riley set the pick, and that's a three for Woody Austin.
That's what happens to good shooters. Got that good rotation on it. Soft shot. You'll get rolls like that. That is not luck.
Acie Earl faking the pass inside, and his baseline jumper is short. Moses with the putback. That's his first basket.
That's Iowa. Opportunity shots and putbacks and free throws. They'll get 85% of the points in that fashion.
Emotion plays so much in the game. And Iowa lost at Purdue 77-69 in overtime. That's a three for Waddell. And Purdue is coming back. It's an 8-point game now. Iowa sets up the play. But building on this emotion thing, how about what Minnesota did with Indiana after losing by better than 40 at Indiana earlier this year?
You get them on your home court, you get the crowd in, the adrenaline flows, and it's just, when you got young kids like this, it's hard to change that emotion, change that momentum.
Waddell fouls Earl. Earl will shoot 2 shots because that's the 10th Purdue foul. That's all the scoring Acie Earl has today. Junior from Moline, Illinois, is 4 for 6. Gonzo Martin in for Purdue. Skinner leaves the Iowa lineup. Smith is in. Earl is 0 for 3 from the field, but 4 for 6 from the line. Five for Earl. The second shot is in play at 3:25 left in the half. So far, Iowa hasn't needed the crowd to get really involved in this game. 10-point lead. 6 points for Acie Earl. Iowa with the 10-point lead, putting pressure on Purdue.
Now you got to turn and attack. You got a 3-on-1.
Stand back, brought it back out.
You can't do that. Even if you take the baby jump shot, you've got rebounding position. You've got guys down there in position. You got an open floor, easier rebounds.
Woody Austin's trying to make something happen, and he shoots it over that Riley pick again. Earl rebounds for Iowa, mixes it up with Riley, no whistle.
Give up an 8-foot open jump shot for a 15-foot fadeaway.
A three for Moses, and he has 5. Skinner, Street, and Moses each with a 3-point basket. 34-21 Iowa back to its biggest lead. Riley running and scoring. 11 for Riley, showing some good quickness for the big man. Too strong on Moses' jumper. Stand back finds Trice on the outlet. Now Purdue's pushing the ball. Trice scores the basket, his second.
Most really good fast-breaking pressure ball clubs only like to run one way. That's offensively. Iowa struggling a little bit now, getting back defensively, and Purdue making them pay for it, and I think should continue to do so. Move the ball up the floor aggressively.
Earl
shot, huh?
With his first field goal, and he earned it. He has 8.
I would think that Riley would be pleased to have Earl take a fadeaway 10-footer every time. Two reasons. It's a tough shot. The other reason, you're keeping him away from the offensive boards.
One of those shots that Coach Davis looks at, says, don't shoot, and then good shot. And it was a good shot for Martin, scoring his first basket. Now Purdue is starting to heat it up from the field.
And they're gaining confidence. Early in the ball game, they were passing up the 8 and 10-foot open jump shots to bring the ball back out and run the offense. Now they've popped 3 in a row.
How much of that had to do with a couple of block shots early by Iowa?
Well, I just think it's more with Gene Keady's philosophy, and that he feels that he wants to use some clock, make Iowa play defense and wear them down so they're not eager to run the other way. But, whoa, Iowa's really giving them a lot of opportunities. They're really pressuring intensely. And anytime you got 4 men in the backcourt, you've got an opportunity with only one guy down to play defense if you break the zone.
Davis and Street come in. Looking Bill leaves, and so does Acie Earl. Austin goes out of the Purdue lineup. And McNary, number 35, is back in for the Boilers, who trail 36-27. Stanback goes for the steal and was fouled by Street.
Boy, you'd like to see a referee not make that call. I know it's hard to do. Street on a pretty smart foul there, just grabbed him. Purdue had a 3-on-none.
First foul on Street, the 7th team foul on the Hawkeyes, so 1-1 now for Purdue with 1:06 left in the half.
I'm not so sure Street did it on purpose, but whether he did or not, it was smart. Purdue had an easy layup.
Stanback, a 63% shooter. Purdue's leading rebounder. He missed the front end of the 1-1, saved at the end line. A nice play by James Winters.
Haven't seen much of Purdue's zone defense since the first 3 or 4 minutes. I thought it was fairly effective.
Waddell lost a step.
Moses found the basket.
7 points for James Moses.
All of them within the last 3 or 4 minutes.
38-27 Iowa. The shot clock is off. 33 seconds and counting in the first half. Long lob pass for Stanback.
Purdue with no shot clock in effect right now and 20 seconds to go in the half will obviously hold the ball for 1 shot. Philosophically, you want to take this shot with about 6 seconds to go, so you have time for a tip-in, and Iowa does not have time for a break.
Now with 8 seconds to go, Trice starts the offense here. Stanback for the basket. Stanback gets his first field goal. And now the half-court shot too high off the glass by Kevin Smith. After 20 minutes of play at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Iowa has a 38-29 lead over Purdue. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment. Today's Big Ten Conference basketball game is being brought to you by Buick, by AT&T, by Norwegian Cruise Line, and by Domino's. Call Domino's Pizza now and you'll be enjoying our new Better Than Ever pizza in the second half.
We asked California artist Ed Lister to give us his impressions of the all-new 1992 Buick Skylark, to capture the lyrical lines, the liquid flow, the dash of flair, and above all, the quality that makes this the Buick of its class. Did he capture Skylark? Decide for yourself. But one thing's for certain. Skylark is the Buick that will change a lot of impressions about Buick.
Larry Zonka, 3 straight Super Bowls. After that, he went to sea. Sports personalities, as well as our own team of sports instructors, help host Norwegian Cruise Line cruises. No other cruise line has such an all-star lineup. Norwegian Cruise Line, the best vacation you've ever had. Plus, contact with someone like number 39, Larry Zonka.
And now it's time for this week's Norwegian Cruise Line Big Ten Trivia Contest. Our question, how old was Bob Knight when he was named head coach of Army? Write your answer on a postcard and mail it to Raycom Big Ten Trivia, Post Office Box 33367, Charlotte, North Carolina 28233. A winner will be drawn at random from all correct answers received by February 21st and will be awarded an exciting cruise for two on Norwegian Cruise Line. A reminder, you must be 18 or older to be eligible to win a cruise. For those of you who entered our contest last week, the question was, what teams have the most Big Ten championships? The correct answer, Indiana and Purdue with 18. Larry Thompson of Grove City, Ohio was our lucky winner, and Larry has won a cruise for two on Norwegian Cruise Line. We're at Carver Hawkeye Arena. We're at halftime. The home team Iowa Hawkeyes lead the Purdue Boilermakers 38-29. A first half, John Mingelt, that saw neither team really create a rhythm until Iowa was able to go on a run and take advantage of some turnovers and blow the score wide open to 13. Then Purdue decided to pull up and take some jump shots that had been passing up, and it became a little closer game.
Right, Iowa obviously with the pressure, getting the opportunity shots and going to the line and getting follow shots. But Purdue kind of following up on Iowa, playing a little bit of their philosophy, pushing the ball up the floor against the press, and successful at it.
All right, let's take a look at our Aflac halftime highlights with Iowa leading Purdue. And the first thing we're going to see is Travis Trice.
Travis Trice having 3 good games in a row. Hit the open jump shot early in the game. He had the man running at him and takes it right into the middle and boom. Now, I think Purdue's got to do more of this off the pressure. They have to do that. Rodell Davis, this is what Iowa likes to do, and you see Smith there. He's the man that makes that happen. He's the catalyst, and Davis converted that into a 3-point play.
Iowa's bench has outscored Purdue's bench 11-2 in the first half.
Right, and when you see the big 6'8" guys taking 3-pointers, you know that Iowa's feeling their oats. Iowa converted, I think, a 15-2 run right there, and of course anything can happen then, and the big guys love to shoot those 3-pointers.
And those are the Aflac halftime highlights. And there's our halftime score. Iowa 38-29 with 8 points coming from Acie Earl in the first half.
Welcome to Mountain Man 101. Let's begin. This is a mountain man. Notice his love of great natural beauty, his instinctive resourcefulness, his healthy respect for a fine pair of cowboy boots. However, the easiest way to identify a mountain man is to look at his hands, which will no doubt be holding a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn to live life as a man among men.
Lock-in performance. Lock-in low cost. Lock-in safer handling. Lock-in rootworm control with Thymet insecticide. Thymet provides protection equal to diphonated lorsban, and it costs a lot less. And now, get Thymet in the new fast-loading lock and load closed handling system. So look again at Thymet and lock in more profits.
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
And you should too. The monthly specials at True Value Hardware stores. Like the Master Electrician rechargeable lantern for just $8.99. It recharges right in the outlet. And in February, it's just $8.99 while supplies last. That's just one of the terrific specials at True Value. The neighborhood hardware stores with national chain store buying power.
I'll take the special.
That's life.
You guys around next week?
Not me, I'm off to State College on Saturday.
You're still going? That's great.
What about your dad's surgery?
Hey, the bills and stuff.
No problem. He had some extra insurance to help pick up the bills.
Aflac Supplemental Insurance helps close the gaps in your health insurance, like deductibles and co-payments. Aflac lets life go right on, and that's the peace of mind you want. Aflac, insuring over 35 million people worldwide.
I said in one of my books that peculiar travel suggestions were dancing lessons from God. So when the poet George Starbuck asked me to come teach in the writer's workshop, I went. And I found out what it was like to be really wide awake to the world and my own imagination. I was never a student, but I am a graduate, of the University of Iowa.
Purdue took a giant step toward the 21st century in November by launching the largest fundraising campaign in the history of the university. Called Vision 21, the $250 million campaign is being led by two Purdue alumni, Neil Armstrong, the first man to set foot on the moon, and Gene Cernan, the last to leave the lunar surface.
When I was a student here, I could not have foreseen that the space age would occur in our lifetimes. That did indeed happen. I and other Purdue folks were fortunate to be a part of that process. Engineering not only prepared them in some ways for those striking changes that are likely to prepare people to be ready for what new changes and new developments occur next week, next year, and next decade.
We, through that education, learned how to learn, because when I got in the space program, the things we were learning had never been learned by anybody else before. Everything was new. What's important is to provide students in college today with the tools, provide them with the inspiration and the motivation.
Purdue President Stephen Beering says Vision 21 is focusing on people instead of buildings.
As we approach the threshold of the 21st century, we shall celebrate the 125th birthday of Purdue University with a major renewal effort. We shall invest in people. We shall pioneer new ideas and internationalize our programs.
$75 million will be allocated for faculty development, distinguished professorships, and enhanced international exchange opportunities. $50 million will go to help students by providing career opportunities, international cooperative programs, and scholarships, with special emphasis on assisting minorities and women. $75 million will be invested in research and public service, enhanced laboratories and computer facilities, a magnetic resonance system, and high-speed data acquisition equipment. $50 million will be used for information access, a vast fiber optics network, a modern telecommunications system, expanded library resources, and an external information gateway. A campaign cabinet of 31 Purdue alumni from around the world will guide Vision 21 to a successful conclusion by the end of 1994. Purdue's West Lafayette, Fort Wayne, Calumet, and North Central campuses are involved. More than half of the $250 million goal has already been raised. For Purdue University, I'm Ray Cubberley.
We'd like to tell you that coming up next on most of these same stations, Bill Foster's Northwestern Wildcats travel to Indiana to take on Bob Knight's Indiana Hoosiers. Our halftime score in Iowa City in the first game of our doubleheader today on Raycom Sports, Iowa 38 and the Purdue Boilermakers 29. 8 points for Acie Earl to lead Iowa. Craig Riley has 11 points. We'll be back after these words from your local station. You're watching the Raycom Network.
You gotta be kidding. Woo! What's in is out, what's out is in. So many trends make my poor head spin. Don't sell me good taste, I know I taste good. While the best things always so misunderstood. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper, we want it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. The taste is made to order, we love it. Whoa, just what the doctor.
Here's a Taco Bell story about cheddar cheese. Can you taste it? Come on, taste it. Oven roasted chicken, seasoned beef. Can you taste it, baby? Taste it. Taco sauce, taco supreme. Chicken mix and milk, you know what I mean. Can you taste it, baby? Taste it. 59. Taste it, baby. Taste it. 79. Taste it. Come on, taste it. 99. Run for the border with me.
38-29, Iowa leads Purdue in the Big Ten. And now let's take a look at college basketball scores around the country on our Budweiser scoreboard. Colorado and Kansas later in the Big 8. At halftime, North Carolina is leading Clemson 57-43. Later on in the Big 10, Northwestern and Indiana, that's coming up on most of these same stations. Tonight, Minnesota is at Illinois. And we have Michigan State, Michigan, a great matchup with Ohio State playing at Wisconsin. College basketball on our Budweiser scoreboard. Back out on the floor now, getting ready for the second half. Iowa, stay with us. We'll be back. The Naismith Award is given annually to the nation's top college basketball player. Let's take a look at some of this year's candidates. Don Staley of Virginia, Susan Robinson of Penn State, Lisa Leslie of USC, Jesse Hicks of Maryland, and Rhonda Mapp of North Carolina State. We'll keep you updated on the top Naismith candidates throughout the season. And now a look at a previous Naismith Award winner.
Domino's Pizza presents Naismith Award winners. In 1984, Danny Manning was the most highly recruited prep star in his class. Once in college, he more than lived up to those great expectations, setting more than 36 school, conference, and NCAA records. By the time he left Kansas, Manning owned the Big 8 career scoring record and was the 6th leading scorer in NCAA history. He capped his career with an NCAA title and the 1988 Naismith Award as College Basketball Player of the Year.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
Yeah, sure, Ranger's the best-selling compact pickup, but how did it get there? Was it toughness? It is the best-built American compact pickup. How about technology? Push-button four-wheel drive, 4-liter power. Ranger offers both, plus style and comfort. You know what? It's more than a sales leader. It's a value leader.
More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
Today's Big Ten Conference basketball game is being brought to you by Aflac, by Ford, by True Value Hardware, and by Domino's Pizza. Call Domino's Pizza now for our new pizza with more melted cheese, bigger, better toppings, and a tender, tastier crust. Well, John Mingeld, I'm John Rooney. We're at Carver Hawkeye Arena at halftime. Iowa leads Purdue 38-29. And John, how about the 4 keys to the game? What's going to have to happen from Purdue's standpoint in the second half?
Well, Purdue must attack the press. They did it very successfully late in the first half. And I think they need to continue to do that. They don't want to run haphazardly, but when they are given it, they want to take it. They also got to look at those 3-pointers. You know, you saw Waddell and Austin, boom, boom, boom. They were back within 8 points quickly. They need to look at that. Iowa, on the other hand, must not get lulled into a half-court sleepy game. They did a little bit of that early, and you were playing Purdue's philosophy, and they can't forget to get back. The last 4 or 5 transitions, they did not get back on their pressure. Purdue broke it down and got good shots.
Now the Gillette halftime stats, the numbers from the first half of play, and the field goal percentage got a whole lot better the last 7-8 minutes.
Temperatures are up. I think the big difference here is at the free throw line. When you play an upbeat, attacking kind of offense, you're going to go to the line more here. 10 different successful free throws. It's only a 9-point difference in the game. There is the difference. And rebounding that was very in favor of Iowa early, I think 12-6, 12-5, is now closed the gap at only 1 difference. Purdue opened up a little bit. The floor gets opened up, and therefore they can get some rebounds.
Skinner, Barnes, Moses, Street, and Earl on the court for Iowa starting the second half. Trice, Stanback, Austin, Riley, and Waddell on the floor for the Purdue Boilermakers, who trail 38-29. Iowa on the attack to start the second half.
Purdue now back into their zone defense a little bit. It looks like it's out front. They're in a zone back in the man-to-man now. So they started briefly in a zone, then switched to a man-to-man after 3 or 4 passes.
Street had a 3-point basket in the first half.
I think this is a good lineup for Purdue to attack the press. They've got three really guards in the ball game in Trice, Waddell, and Austin.
Here's Street scoring, beginning the second half, and he has 7 points today.
Street got a back pick from Moses on the weak side. That left him open real close to the hoop. Easy layup after a nice pass.
Trice scored 4 points in the first half. He had 21 against Ohio State last Saturday, and then a 6-point game against Illinois. The foul outside, the personal was called on James Moses. That's his third foul.
Not really a good foul that far from the basket. Waddell going sideways. You know, good philosophy is you don't want to foul a guy on the dribble unless he's headed toward the basket where he can do you damage.
He picks up his third foul early in the second half with 19:03 to go. Trice out front. Austin scored 5 points in the first half.
Just don't forget he's averaging almost 18 points a game. Austin, the kind of guy who needs screens, double screens, and picks in order to get open jump shots. Not getting him here today.
We saw in the first half, once he did get an opening, he could get the shot away quickly.
And effectively. He's a 43% field goal shooter from three-point range.
Waddell too strong with that one. Street's rebound. Val Barnes out high for Street. Purdue in the man-to-man after showing us a lot of zone early today.
Notice how, though it's a passive man-to-man, they're going to call foul underneath, I believe, on Barnes for...
It is on Val Barnes, his first.
Elbowing Waddell. You'll look at Purdue's defense when they come down and play a man-to-man. It's probably only aggressive to the outlet pass. They're pretty passive, making Iowa beat them from outside.
Stand back with a foul. That's his third.
Well, he can't get a break. Gets a hustle foul there. Had two offensive pushing fouls early in the game. So really 3 fouls that he shouldn't have. You want to get those fouls playing aggressive defense or on the boards.
That foul gives the ball right back to Iowa, leading 40-29 with 18 minutes to go in the second half. Moses one-on-one with Waddell. Barnes steps up, and he'll be shooting 2 free throws. The foul is on Matt Waddell. That's his second.
Waddell gets the foul for coming over and help. You know, the easiest time to go to the basket is when you got your defensive man running at you. Barnes had that time, and one quick step, and he's to the hoop. Waddell over to help, draws the foul.
Barnes is 5 out of 5 from the free throw line. 21-year-old out of Wichita, Kansas, who played junior college basketball at Butler County in Kansas.
He's an 85% free throw shooter. He's the type of player, very consistent, stays within his abilities. What I mean by that is doesn't try to do anything he really can't do well. Therefore, does not make a lot of mistakes.
Has 6 points all from the free throw line this afternoon. 42-29 Iowa with 17:48 left in the half.
A little three-quarter zone pressure by Iowa.
Saved by Trice.
Street very active, gets those hands up, causes a lot of havoc.
Gonzo Martin with the miss, and Acie Earl brings it down for the Hawkeyes. The Hawks on the attack. Val Barnes counted. His first field goal, a three-pointer for Val Barnes. And a timeout with 17:20 to go in the second half at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. It's Iowa 45, Purdue 29. We'll be back after you watch these messages.
It's life.
Unbelievable.
At the company picnic, and his team lost.
Riding high in a prayer, shot down in mud.
Our employee health plan covers him, right?
Yes and no. With co-payments and deductibles, it's still plenty.
He breaks it at the company picnic. His team loses. And he has to lay out his own money.
He must love us right about now.
Gaps in your health plan can be costly. Aflac can help. Aflac is a leader in supplemental insurance with 35 years of dependable service. Today, employees of over 80,000 companies count on Aflac to get on with their lives.
Pick myself up and get back in the race, that's life.
You've got to do better than that.
But it won't get me down.
Any ideas?
Yeah, Aflac.
'cause this old world keeps
Aflac, insuring over 35 million people worldwide.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Let's see. A mountain man must be fearless, sure-footed, willing to answer the call of the wild. But most of all, a mountain man should be thirsty for a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and see if you have what it takes to be a real mountain man.
Iowa has its biggest lead this afternoon, 45-29 over the Purdue Boilermakers. I'd like to tell you this telecast is presented by the authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated is prohibited. Iowa has come out shooting. Val Barnes, a couple of free throws, a three-point basket. A 45-29 lead for the Hawkeyes.
Chris Street on the point of this press causes a lot of visibility problems for the guards. At 6'8" and fairly quick, he gets those arms waving, those feet moving, and makes it hard to get the pass through there.
A mismatch on Street's size over Waddell, and it's thrown away to Moses. Barnes back to Moses to Street. Street has 9, and back come the Boilers, down 47-29. Lonzo Martin. Now the crowd is making some noise for the first time today. Martin inside is fouled by Moses.
Woody Austin gets his open jumper, and it's almost a baby one for him. Can't convert. Moses' 4th foul. Of course, Iowa with some depth because they do play a lot of people because of their style.
They bring in Rodell Davis, who scored 7 off the bench in the first half. Lonzo Martin to inbound. Link Darner's in the lineup now for Purdue. And that's a 3 for Woody Austin. His second today. He has 8 points.
Again, open, gets his shoulders square, doesn't have to put it on the floor.
Street tried his second three-pointer. He's 1 for 2 now from that range.
I don't think you'll see another one.
Martin blocked by Street.
Oh, now he might be able to take one.
Now he might be able to do it again.
That's right.
Here's Austin shaking and baking. Woody Austin has 10. This type of tempo favored Purdue in the first half and got the Boilers back into the game.
Well, they pick and choose when they want a fast break, and I think that Iowa is giving them good opportunities when they break their press, and they just haven't taken them. What I think Gene Keady has to do, as you see Darner draw the foul down low, is really get some people in the right positions when you beat the press to be able to take the jump shots. A lot of times you're seeing a stand back back there, and of course Riley has shown us he can take the ball to the basket a couple times, but Painter and Darner just won't take that open shot.
They gave that foul to Riley, not Darner. I thought the foul was on Darner for holding. And then this foul was on Woody Austin.
Darner looked guilty.
He did.
He kind of looked over to the bench to see if he was in trouble and looked at the ref. And
well, Darner wanted the foul because that was the third on Riley. And then Woody Austin committed his first.
No bait and switch on the referee. Raise your hand real quick, look guilty, and draw the foul away from your big center.
It doesn't work very often, but sometimes it does.
You still get away with that again with 2 officials as
Barnes missed the shot, and a foul inside on Purdue. Martin picks up his second foul, the 5th on Purdue. 3 team fouls for Iowa in the second half. Chris Street will inbound, 6'8" sophomore from Indianola, Iowa. Acie Earl in the lane, whirling. The tip goes. Val Barnes.
Oh, two-handed tip there.
11 for Val Barnes.
A little guy rises above the giants.
Celebrates his birthday a day later with 11 points so far.
Up, wrong place for Trice to get trapped in the corner here.
And a good catch. Here's Austin attacking. And he missed the close-end shot, but it's followed by Martin.
That's what happens when you attack, though. You get the ball up on the glass. Austin wanted to foul, but you'll get tip-ins and follow shots.
49-36 Iowa. Trice is watching Skinner. And Barnes just streaked past Austin. And it's Street with his third field goal this half. He has 11 points.
He's playing cheerleader, trying to get the crowd into it.
51-36. Iowa on defense with the big lead now, and Darner out high for Gene Keady. Riley into the lane. He was fouled. Earl wanted a travel call or a foul on Riley using an elbow to get position.
Riley fairly active in the first half with 11 points. The Boilermakers have kind of ignored him offensively here early in the second half, and when you go down low to the big guys, and you want to, especially when they're hot, you have a tendency to draw fouls and get your opponent in foul trouble and get to the free throw line.
Skinner and Earl come out. Kevin Smith is in along with James Winter for Iowa. Woody Austin out at the point. Stand back in for Purdue. Iowa, Trice, and Riley.
Iowa into a 3-2 zone. Not a very aggressive zone. You'll probably see Austin get a jumper here out of this. Purdue does a nice job of running the...
Stand back has his shot blocked by Barnes right into the hands of James Winters. Smith to Street. Chris Street has 13 points, 8 in the second half. 53-36 Iowa. Stand back will keep the ball outside.
Again, Purdue had a 3-on-1, and they had the ball in Ian Standback's hands, and of course, he didn't take it to the basket and try to create something.
Stand back from the high post. Davis is guarding Trice, who lobs to Link Darner. Darner from the free throw line to an open stand back. That's a shot for 3, 2 along by Trice. Austin with the follow.
Austin will get some rebounds, averaging almost 4.5 a game. He had 10 last time against Iowa.
Barnes from the corner. Long rebound for Trice. Now Trice runs a 3-on-2. Trice has scored his first basket in the second half, his third field goal today for 6 points. It'll be Iowa's ball out of bounds. We have a contact lens problem.
Iowa fast break foiled by a contact. Purdue's defense can't do it. Got a contact somewhere on the floor, or is it in the top of his eye? Maybe he found
it. Might be way up in the eyelid.
Sometimes they flip back in there. Nobody's hunting on the floor, so I reckon that's the case.
Now Waddell comes back for Purdue. Austin will get a breather. Brandon Brantley comes in for Purdue. And completing the changes, Cornelius McNary. Skinner in, Barnes out, a change for Iowa. Winters is out of the lineup. Street, Earl, Smith, Bookingbill, and Skinner on the floor for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who have the ball, leading by 13 with 12:40 left in the second half.
Purdue with a little baby run here as they drop back into their 2-3 zone. This may be an opportune time for them. The crowd's kind of out of it to get a couple quick hoops, get it down to single digits, and just kind of claw their way back into this game. They need to play very tough defense right now. And I'll tell you, most people think it's lackadaisical time when you go into the zone. You got to move quicker, and they didn't there. Skinner on the Bob Cousy one-handed set.
2 3-point baskets for Troy Skinner. He has 6. A 16-point lead now.
You got to move those feet quicker on that zone when you play a zone than you do man-to-man.
McNary blocked by Acie Earl.
Good call. Came back and hit McNary's hands.
And Iowa will have the ball after a timeout. We have 11:52 left in the second half in Iowa City. A 16-point lead for the home team Hawkeyes.
Introducing the new Ford Taurus and the Dummy. Ford Motor Company has the only cars in this class that offer dual airbags. And to help make sure you won't have to use them, we also offer anti-lock brakes.
When you practice conservation tillage to help protect the environment, you need the outstanding flexibility and proven effectiveness of Prowl herbicide. Applied pre-emergence or in early post-tank mixes, Prowl controls your toughest grasses and broadleaf weeds. You save money, too, up to 25% over other treatments. Prowl works like clockwork all season long. Get Prowl at your local Cyanamid Agri Center dealer.
5, 6, 7, and come on, you can do it. 6, 7, again, 6, 7, 8.
After making it on Broadway, some of the finest entertainers around go off-Broadway. They appear on Norwegian Cruise Line. No other cruise line offers such entertainment. Norwegian Cruise Line, the best vacation you've ever had. Plus,
Introducing the new Ford Taurus and the ear. Its new design pleases the eye, but to please the ear, we quieted the engine, the interior, even the air conditioning. So now the idea of driving one will sound even better.
Acie Earl, noted for his block shots, really got those long arms, and you're that big, you don't have to jump real high. And nice block because he, kept it in play, but he hit it off McNary's arm, and it went out of bounds, and Iowa got the ball.
Air Acies.
Big dogs, 18s?
Size 18s.
Biggest I ever saw was my buddy Bob Lanier. He had 19s, although he didn't like anybody to talk about him. So I won't. He's too big.
One giant step there for the Hawkeyes. 56 to 40, and Acie Earl scores.
A little bit of prayer in that one, maybe. Off the left foot, off balance, but through the net.
Skinner with the steal, and throws it right to Waddell. He was trying to flip it back there to one of his teammates on the baseline.
Would have brought him down here. Crowd would have gone crazy. Trice can't seem to find the basket today. He's really struggling. Nice pass from Waddell, found him open. Just can't make it happen.
It's still Purdue's basketball from the end line this time, down by 18 points. Biggest lead of the day for Iowa now. A reach foul on Rodell Davis, his third.
Again, when you're trying to get back into a game with this kind of deficit, you have a tendency to push the ball up the floor and shoot jump shots and go to the basket. But we talked about it before. Craig Riley's really been ignored after getting 11 points in the first half. I think you ought to go down low to him a little bit more when you're in that half-court offense. Try to draw some fouls. Let him move in the low post.
Barnes in for Skinner, a change in the Iowa lineup. Matt Waddell's inbound.
Barnes doesn't like to put his shirt tail in. And of course, the referees make him do it. I didn't like it either. It was a little restrictive, you know. You didn't really feel like you had a lot of freedom. But we like to keep things neat and clean out there, so the referees are bugging him.
Austin, count it. 15 for Austin.
Doesn't have to put it on the floor. He's set. That's 10 for him this half.
58-43 Iowa. Make that Brig Tubbs in now for Iowa, number 43. He takes the pass from Davis. He's a senior from DeWitt, Iowa. Pretty good ball movement by Iowa, keeping the ball on the outside, eating up some of the clock with a 58-43 lead.
Yeah, but they'll get anxious here. It's not their game.
Coming down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Earl sets a pick, but Riley rolls off that. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Now Smith pushes it. And
good
over the
box
back,
out
Acie Earl.
Good box out by Riley. You don't have to be a great jumper to be a good rebounder. A nice box out by Riley. Takes up a lot of room. Acie Earl trying to come over his back, draws the foul.
That's his third. 16 fouls on Iowa, 5 on Purdue. Full court pressure now on the Boilermakers, and a baseball pass to midcourt to Trice. Quickness against size, blocked by Earl. Back on the Hawks now. Smith lobs for Street. The pass is too tall. It's Purdue's ball.
Good look by Smith. One of the things that Trice will learn, when you got a big guy like this, you can't go away from him. You see him? He kind of, you know, floats away from a guy like that. A big guy like that, you take it right at his nose. You create contact, which will not allow him to jump as easily. And you have a tendency to be able to get the ball up on the glass and into the hoop.
Riley got an inside step on Earl. 13 for Riley. Riley just got his first basket in the second half.
Well, we're back down to that 13 again now. Crowd's a little bit out of it. I think this will be Purdue's last chance. I think they've got to get a couple of baskets here and get this down below into the single digits.
Looking Bill back out for Street. Here's DeBarnes on the other side.
They just don't have the type of club to apply a lot of pressure and create a up-tempo game.
Looking Bill's baseline jumper is short. Now Woody Austin and Travis Trice join Waddell and Riley, and foul on Riley.
That's not Riley's fault either. As Gene Keady gives Matt Waddell the real stare.
4 fouls on Craig Riley. 6 on Purdue.
When you're coming down the floor in a fast break, you really got to have the ability to assess the entire floor and what's going on. I think Waddell's got to learn to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, although he is a redshirt freshman. He gets the ball here. He's got an angle. Take it in. See, he's even got a guard there. Why give it to a big guy? It's got to put it on the floor. I know he's trying to be generous and pass the ball around, but you really got to be aggressive offensively out there when you've got angles. You got to take them. You got to know what's going on the floor.
Now Iowa with the ball on a 58-45 lead with 9:14 left in the game.
Blocking foul on a back pick by Looking Bill. I like that back pick, and it's a good play. But what happens on that is Looking Bill lets his man through, his offensive player Street, through the pick and then moves to pick off the defensive player. That's a block. You can't do that. Once your offensive man gets through the pick, you can't move.
That is the 7th team foul on Iowa, putting Purdue in the 1-1 with 9:13 to go in the second half. 16 fouls on Purdue, so on the next one, Iowa will be in the 1-1, the next Purdue foul. Ian Stanback, 0 for 1 from the line today, a 63% shooter this season. And he has missed 2 1-1s, but saved by his teammate, Conzo Martin.
Hadn't had a little brick in it. He's improved his free throw percentage, though, 23% over last year. Now, if he did that every year, he'd be over 100, right?
Yeah, he would. Those 2 misses don't help today. Waddell at the 3-point line, cut off by Looking Bill. And by Street in a double team. Here's Waddell. It spins out to Martin. He pushed off on Skinner. 3 fouls on Conzo Martin, 7 on Purdue. Iowa is in the 1-1.
Again, Martin, 7 inches on the little guy, Skinner, and a good box out, and Martin got a little bit impatient, tried to go over it.
1-1 now for Troy Skinner. He had 3 points in the game against Michigan. It was a 79-74 loss. Good free throw shooter at 80%. 7 for Skinner.
Keep an eye on Chris Street on the free throw line. He's number 40, just to the right-hand side of Skinner. He likes to do some crazy things. There you see him at the top. On this side of the floor, he likes to buzz in there, go around behind all the players, and get to the basket.
8 points for Troy Skinner. He goes out, and Kevin Smith, sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, comes back. 60-45 Iowa now with 8:39 to go. Second half of play. Trice from the double team in the backcourt. Austin ahead to Martin in the front court for Purdue. Austin with a quick shot. And Brantley.
Iowa bench wanted goaltending. Brantley got it just as it's falling off the rim.
So no basket interference. The basket counts for Brantley as first. Smith penetrates. Val Barnes from the baseline.
Purdue with a little half-court pressure. Smith broke it down, and Barnes open jumper.
13 for Val Barnes. Martin Inbounds to Stanback.
Purdue can't seem to get it over that 13. Got it down to 13 4 or 5 times early here in the second half. Just can't break it.
Woody Austin to Stanback. Fouled by Winters. First foul on James Winters. And let's take a look at the play.
Austin on a little no-look bounce pass. You got the whistle. You call it. We'll even give you another angle.
Close. 2 shots for Stanback. He's 0 for 2, missing a pair of 1-and-1 opportunities. 0 for 2 from the line today. 1 for 3. 3 points for Stanback.
The more you go over, the tougher it is to hit that first one, too. That one just kind of snuck in.
7:45 left in the second half, and this time Stanback scores 2 from the line and has 4 points. A timeout. 7:45 left in the second half at Iowa City. It's Iowa 62, Purdue 49.
Did you know the cost of 2 9-page fax transmissions from these Philadelphia newspapers to Chicago may surprise you?
I got an exclusive interview
With AT&T Pro Watts, your business can't get a more accurate way to send a fax.
She talks a lot.
And our prices are extremely competitive. Even though the other company would like you to believe, they always save you lots of money.
Wait a minute. That's news to me. Can I quote you on that?
AT&T Pro Watts, another AT&T advantage.
Pizza Hut for the Grand Pan Pizza loaded with 10 toppings. Get 1 medium for $9.99 and any other medium is just $4 more.
Coming up next on most of these same stations, the Northwestern Wildcats visit Bloomington to take on the Indiana Hoosiers. That's up next on Raycom Sports.
The Hoosiers should have some fire in their eyes. They're fresh off that 71-67 loss to Minnesota, and they want to keep a top 5 or 6 ranking.
Now would not be a good time for a team to go into Bloomington after an Indiana loss.
No. I mean, they might have had 2 for 2-a-days down there.
62-49. At halftime, it was 38-29 Iowa. Iowa had built a 17-point lead early in the second half. We have 7:38 and counting to go in the second half. Smith walks to the sideline and saves it in.
Purdue with a little pressure of their own, and the advantage here for Iowa is that, hey, they work against the pressure every day in practice.
Another foul on Stanback, his 4th.
He's got 4 non-aggressive fouls, and by that I mean you don't get him really playing a guy going to the basket or on the boards. That one again was away from the ball.
1-and-1 now for Acie Earl. He has 6 points from the free throw line today, 6 of 8. Brantley with the rebound. Austin pulls it back out for Martin and Trice. Brantley and Stanback complete the 5 on the floor for Purdue.
Another chance to get it over that 13 mark. Purdue just can't seem to break the ice, get it down into single digits.
Stanback at the 3-point line, 18 on the shot clock.
As a player, when you have it at single digits, you always think you're in a chance to win, you know, when it's above that double digits. You're just trying to make it look good.
Martin steps up on Earl, fakes him off his feet and scores.
Nice job. Martin takes the ball in, causes the contact that doesn't allow Earl good timing on his jump.
And that time he went right to the big man as you talked earlier. Instead of backing away from him, he took it to him with the fake, got the basket. Until Martin has 6 for Purdue. Now it's 62-51 Iowa. So the Boilers do get inside that 13-point barrier. Moses on the miss. Earl with the rebound. He'll go to the free throw line. If it's on Stanback, that is his 5th, and it's not. It's on Brantley.
Stanback's just mad at himself for allowing Earl to get that rebound. He is at a pretty sizable disadvantage. Earl at 6'10", Stanback at a big 6'6".
Stanback goes out now with Riley coming in, and Riley has 4 fouls. Earl missed the front end of a 1-and-1. He's 6 of 9 from the line today. Shooting 2 here. He hits the front end of that rim most of the time.
One more foul. He won't have to worry about the 1-on-1 anymore. Iowa will be awarded 2 free throws on every foul from here on out.
Earl has 12 points. Cordell Davis in for Iowa. He replaces James Moses. 64-51.
I think Purdue should look either to go down low to Riley, maybe to draw the foul, and he has played well, get some free throws with that clock stopped, or look for Austin for the 3-pointers. The clock is slowly but surely becoming their enemy.
Purdue down by 13. Riley couldn't get the roll. Inside, Martin is fouled.
Gene Keady off the bench wanted the initial foul, which he thought was on his player Riley, but he's going to get the follow foul as Martin will go to the line.
Chris Street committed the foul, his second, and each team now at 9 fouls.
Martin, an 81% free throw shooter.
He was in the act of shooting, so he'll shoot 2 free throws. The second shot's in play at 5:52 left in regulation. Martin goes 1 for 2 that trip, give him 7 for the day. A long pass to Val Barnes in on Riley, and Barnes scores it. That time Barnes went into the big man, then backed away.
That's right. You make contact with that big man, you freeze him.
Acie Earl went for the block but couldn't get it. Brantley has 4.
This game opening up just a little bit.
A 12-point lead for Iowa with the ball. Near steal by Trice. Out of bounds. No, it's tied up. And on the possession, Purdue takes over.
Kevin Smith went the baseline. They were trying to get him in there to create some action, and looked like he just tripped a little bit.
Skinner and Lookingbill come in for Iowa. Moses out. That's one thing about Dr. Tom Davis. He's going to play a lot of players, and those who contribute to his team and earn that playing time get plenty of it, John. We've seen players come in and out of this game from both benches today.
I think this press is really effective with Street on the point. You get a big guy like that able to play the point, boy, he can cause a lot of havoc.
Here's Woody Austin. 17 for Woody Austin.
Nice screen that time by Brantley. Gets Austin open for that jumper. And it's a 10-point game.
Here's Street leaning in, and he'll be on
offensive
the free throw.
foul.
No,
No.
you're right. It is an offensive foul with Riley getting good position inside.
Anytime a big man dribbles this far, I think the advantage goes to the defensive player. You see Riley there, even though he made up distance a little bit and kind of walked into him, he's still in the right lane. And it just seems to me when big guys try to dribble more than 10 feet, come flying into the middle, they're going to get the foul. And I'll tell you what, it could be 8 points here very quickly.
Street with a foul, his third, and Riley is on the free throw line. Riley didn't play that cautiously, even though he has the 4 fouls. He stood up to Street.
He's a 68% free throw shooter. Interestingly enough, in the last minute of the ball game, under pressure, he's 10 out of 10.
Riley today with 13 points, 6 out of 10 from the field, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, and they had 2 rebounds. 14 for Riley.
Should we mention it this time because we feel it's very important. This guy's a all-academic Big Ten player the last 3 years, and he can play hoops, but that's what you're in school for.
15 for Riley.
NIT Scholar Athlete Award. Can't say enough about guys like that who can come out and play and still crack the book.
And you know they're going to do an awful lot for a community wherever he settles in.
That's right.
When he's through playing basketball and finished with his education at West Lafayette. 66-58 Iowa. This could get interesting yet.
Well, this is the time. See, if Purdue can get it to a close ball game at the end, then they play their kind of game. It's a more of a controlled half-court kind of ball game. And when you play Gene Keady's philosophy, that's what you're trying to do. Keep it within 4 or 5 points at the end of the ball game so you have a shot.
Skinner with 5 on the shot clock misses it. Here's Woody Austin, a chance to cut the lead to 6 or maybe 5. Gonzo Martin pulls it back out. Trice, Austin, Riley, Martin, and Brantley are on the court for Gene Keady.
Well, Austin's got Skinner on him. He's got some size on him.
Austin spots up for a 3.
Oh, that would have been a big one.
Long rebound out to Trice. 3.5 minutes to go.
Woody Austin's the kind of guy who'll take it again, though.
Trice will take it this time. Count it.
Trice has struggled under pressure. It's a 6-point game here.
6-point lead for Iowa with 3:18 and counting in the second half.
See, and look how they're walking the ball up the floor now instead of playing their aggressive kind of play.
Timeout Iowa. And Tom Davis spotted that, and he called for the timeout with 3:12 to go. It's a 6-point game, and Iowa City will be back.
From this day on, every Domino's pizza will be better than ever.
More melted cheese, big better toppings, tender, tastier crust.
More melted cheese, big better toppings, tender, tastier crust.
Every fresh-made Domino's pizza better than ever, now and forever.
Nobody knows like Domino's how you like.
More melted cheese,
Big better toppings,
tender,
tastier crust.
Try a medium with unlimited toppings, now just $9.99.
What's most important to you?
My wife. We've been married for 31 years.
32. Definitely these guys.
What's most important? Jack, of course.
My granddaughter, Susan. The new Ford Crown Victoria now offers anti-lock brakes with traction assist and dual airbags. Because shouldn't your car know what's important to you?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
And you should too. The monthly specials at True Value Hardware stores. Like this Rubbermaid bird feeder, just $3.88. Enjoy bird watching year-round. In February, this Rubbermaid feeder is only $3.88 while supplies last. That's just one of the terrific specials at True Value. The neighborhood hardware stores with national chain store buying power.
I'll take the special.
Purdue has scored the last 8 points over the last 2.5 minutes to pull within 6. Iowa 66, Purdue 60. Coming up on most of these same stations on the Raycom network, it's Northwestern against Indiana in Bloomington.
Kind
From
of
the free throw line, Purdue 6 of 9 now. 20 free throws with Iowa making good on 17 today.
I'm sure Gene Keady's letting the officials know that too when they run by his bench. Iowa, as you said, not a point out of the last 8. You lose a little bit of that spring in your legs, a little bit of the aggressiveness when somebody makes a run at you like that. You've had a good lead the whole game.
Earl way under the basket, scores it. 14 for Acie Earl. Now Purdue gets the ball into the front court, breaking the Iowa press. An 8-point lead for the home team. Riley with the jump shot. Rebound inside for Chris Street, fouled by Brandon Brantley.
I don't think that was exactly the shot that Gene Keady wanted. 2 reasons. One, I think that Darner was open down low initially. They were trying to get Austin on the double screen coming across for the 3-point play, but when the big players switched out, the big guy switched out, that meant Riley open at the free throw line, but he took a jumper, and the problem with that more than anything else is he's not under for the offensive rebound.
Street is perfect. 1 for 1 at the line, 6 of 9 from the field, 14 points. He had 16 rebounds against Indiana recently.
Hey, he's a very active player for a big guy. Plays the point on defense, shoots good free throws. We saw him pop a three-pointer.
Plays with a lot of emotion. Turnover to Iowa. Now Iowa can build on its 10-point lead.
You got to like him. He's garnering a lot of confidence here at midseason. They like the way he's playing, and he's a real aggressive ball player.
He joins Val Barnes for team high scoring honors today at 15. Woody Austin has a game high 17 for Purdue, 15 for Craig Riley.
Purdue probably should, when they get a guy in a corner like that, Smith, they should trap him down there. You got to get aggressive with your defense now. You got to try to cause some turnovers here.
2 fouls on Travis Trice. On the line, it's Kevin Smith. This is his first scoring opportunity. He celebrated a birthday yesterday. He's 20 years old.
Is that why he's late for practice this morning?
I don't know. Smith did not start because he was late for the shoot-around this morning. Troy Skinner got the start and scored 8 points. Second shot in play now for Smith with 2:27 left. The 11-point lead now. Iowa up by 11 with a trapping defense and a foul on Val Barnes, putting the knee out.
Well, both Barnes and Street are pointing at each other. They're going to give it to Street.
4 fouls on Street now.
Could have given it to either guy. Nice move by Trice. When you get pressured like that, and he did do the right thing that time, stopping in the backcourt, because that means he can move backwards. If guys come across and stop in the front court right in that corner, you almost like got 2 other defensive players there, the half-court line and the out-of-bounds line. But he stepped through the trap. That's the thing to do, and draw the foul.
8 points for Trice, 4 of 9 from the field. He's a sophomore from Princeton, Indiana. And 2:22 left to play. Waddell off the bench. He'll check in a moment for Purdue. And Skinner will come back in for Iowa. 10 points for Trice. Trice will come out, Waddell in, and Skinner will replace Street. So it becomes a smaller lineup with that move for Iowa.
Well, of course, he knows he wants to hold the ball just a little bit, take some air out of it, run some clock. So he'll put more guards in, and he'll also put his good free throw shooters in the ball game, because Purdue at some point will have to
Purdue
turn
coaches
this
tell them to go get them.
in a little bit of a free throw contest if they have any idea of getting in this one.
Skinner, excellent free throw shooter at 80%. Earl is fouled by Waddell.
Skinner got fouled a couple times too, it looked like. No call. I think if you'd have seen the ball knocked away or something, they would have called a foul. They're putting Earl on the free throw line, who's a 64% shooter for the year, and today
he has missed 3. 8 out of 11 from the line for Acie Earl. 14 points.
5-13.
This can make it a 10-point game. 15 for Earl. He's averaging 19.8 a game. Waddell out, Trice in.
At some point here, Purdue has to be thinking more about 3-point field goals than anything else.
16 for Earl now, 73-62. Hawks. Lonzo Martin out for Trice, cut off by Barnes. Trice steps up for a 2.
Kevin Smith shadowing Woody Austin, the only real serious 3-point threat on Purdue.
Moses in the front court now with a 3-on-1.
It was a smart move. Didn't quite have the good angle, so he might as well take it out.
Trice fouls Smith, a 74% shooter, and Smith's 1 for 2 today.
Use a little bit of clock.
3 fouls on Trice. coming up after this game on most of these same stations. Northwestern at Indiana. With Ohio State leading now with an 8-1 record in the Big Ten. Indiana is next at 8-2.
Smith with some concentration there. You can hear Trice hollering out the play right as Smith's going up for a free throw. Yes, you want to let your players know what's going on, but in addition, you're helping break Smith's concentration.
2 points for Smith. He leaves with Skinner checking in for Iowa.
Purdue now with 3 guards in the ball game, and Waddell, Austin, and Trice, that's kind of the way they started the game. Hopefully to get more outside shooting and 3-point possibilities, as Waddell and Austin can both shoot from there fairly effectively.
Minute 22 and counting in the second half. Trice was out at NBA 3-point range. Here's Austin shooting for 2. 19 for Woody Austin.
No timeout. That allows Iowa to get the ball in quickly without Purdue setting up their defense. We're going to have to foul again.
James Moses is fouled by Waddell. That's 4 on Waddell.
I would like to see Purdue aggressively double team and really effectively go after the ball very hard rather than just a ticky-tack foul.
A foul that sends an 84% shooter to the line.
Right, you really get a guy in a trap, and yeah, you want to go after the ball, but you never know when you get a break. Ball locks off the knee out of bounds or into play or anything. Right there, they're just running out and fouling him.
8 points for James Moses. 9 for Moses. Waddell to the front court. Woody Austin is bottled up by Barnes, and Barnes takes it away. Skinner holds on to the ball, and he's fouled.
He wants to go to the line. That's why he's holding on.
Martin commits his 4th. 45.8 seconds to go. A 10-point lead for Iowa. Iowa looks to extend its record to 14-7, 6-5 in the Big Ten. And Purdue, losing at Ohio State and Illinois, will fall to 4-7 in the Big Ten, 12-11 overall, and 3-8 on the road. 9 for Troy Skinner. He's 3 for 3. With his 4th foul shot coming up. Double figures for Skinner in his starting role today.
No more pressure now for Iowa. They're going to sit back and make sure they don't foul Purdue and allow Purdue to get some points with no time off the clock. And Riley's going to shoot a 3 of his own.
That's tapped out to Martin.
He's going to take a 3. See, this is a license for anybody that wants to take a 3. It's never allowed to take a 3 normally to log it up there. So all the big guys, they're going to take their shot.
Stand at the line, see if it falls, but nothing happened for Purdue, and Iowa has the ball. Looking Bill in, Earl out. Earl leaves with 16 points. Had at least 3 block shots today.
Very successful afternoon from the free throw line.
And a foul on Martin, his 5th. He's gone with 23.6 seconds to go. He leaves with 7 points. On the line, James Moses. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 9 points overall. He had 22 points in the loss at Purdue. Purdue won that in overtime, 77-69. Moses to shoot 2.
Purdue.
I was just icing this game.
Putting Darner in the ball game. Purdue now has 4 players who can really effectively shoot the 3-point shot. They're a 38% 3-point shooting team.
(79-66). Moses goes 2 for 2 and has 11 points. So it's 80-66, Iowa. We'd like to welcome you Those of you tuning in to see the Northwestern Indiana game, we will join that game following the completion of Purdue and Iowa. And Iowa has the lead with 19 seconds to go. Iowa just playing this one out. Out of bounds to Purdue.
Purdue, after trailing by as many as 17 points, broke the game down to 6 points with about 4 minutes to go, but the Iowa pressure caused several Purdue turnovers and
14 for Trice.
History.
And that's the game. Purdue is 12-11, 4-7 in the Big Ten. Iowa goes to 14-7, 6-5 in the Big Ten. The final today, Iowa 80 and Purdue 68.